So we're back on the 41 today, and the goal today is to get the motor and transmission set down in the frame, and then the body set down over that. Get it centered up where I need it, figure out where I need to mount it, stuff like that. I don't want to totally mount it yet because I'm going to have to cut the frame, stretch the frame to get the bed to fit properly. And so let's get after it. Alright, so I'm going to cut motor mounts out of here, get rid of some of this extra crap that we don't need. And I'll go get the motor mounts off that black Chevy that I pulled the motor and transmission out of. And don't worry about that truck, square body lovers. I will do something else with it. I'm thinking like a big block or something different. It's not going to the scrapyard. It's just going to Chevy heaven for a little while. So let me get these cut out. Burn, baby, burn. He's got the fire. Device, take this off. How? Now let's see if we can slide it in here. Sideways. Oh. Alright. Now I have no idea where I need to mount this motor, and I have no idea I just covered myself in antifreeze. Yippee. Carburetor plate on the back one. Oh, she's good. Let's bolt her down. Let's go. Ready to go 100,000 miles. Not really. So I had to pull the manifold off of this side. It was hitting the frame really hard right down here where I had the exhaust. This piece is sticking out. So we're going to see if we can get this motor mount to about this position. If I can, I'm going to lay something across the transmission. This has got a giant hump in it over here, and it's real low over here. Just wanting to kick it over. So I'm going to lay probably this 4x4 across and see if we can back it up. See how well the 41 body sits on. See whether we need to move it backwards or forward, or where we need to actually mount it at. Okay, so here's the idea. I got it set down on the frame. Just use the 4x4 for the cross member for the transmission. And if I just took a 2x4 and wedged it underneath the motor mounts, it actually fits perfectly. It gives me clearance on the fuel pump. The other side I was able to get the manifold back on because of it. I'm just going to space it up a little bit. Listen, this is some homemade crap job. So, it don't really matter. As long as I get it moving down the highway, it does not really matter at all. So, now I'm going to scoot this back just a little bit. See if I can get this body set down on the frame now. Wheel this sucker backwards. Got this damn cab sideways. I need to jack the frame up and twist it. The cab sideways to the frame. Give me 1 second. Let me twist the frame. I got the frame back a little too far, but this was hitting the fan. There's just no room in this truck, and the cab's probably going to sit down on the back of the motor. So I just popped the fan off real quick. NASCAR speed. And now I'm gonna scoot this back this way a little. And I'm gonna go down with it. I'm still way off. I'm gonna go down with it, get that 2x4 out, cut that brace. I'm gonna have to cut some of this stuff. Okay, so I ran into a little bit of trouble here. I got this whole piece right here that is hitting the motor, and the motor's got to come more forward to fit. So I'm gonna take a cutting torch, probably right here, boom, on both sides, dab it off, weld this piece in, and then lower it down and see where we're at from there. I might be totally messing up doing this. I don't really know, but one way to find out. Just metal cuts, metal welds. Hot. Ooh, hot. She was hot. Okay, I have the body set down, not quite on the frame, but low enough. I think I'm gonna pick the body back up, mount the motor and transmission where it's sitting at. The tire seems to be kinda in center on both sides. And this motor is actually, I think I'm gonna clear the firewall. The firewall go down. Now there is no room in the front of this. I have no idea where I'm gonna tuck a radiator in at. But, I mean, there is no clearance on either side. But, it's pretty damn close. So, I'm gonna go ahead, pick this body back up, pull the frame out, make mounts to mount the motor where it's at, and build a cross member for the transmission. Well, I happened to find a parts truck for that 41 that literally has almost everything I need. And here the beauty is. It has got a grill, it's got a front bumper, it has got headlights around the rings, headlights, it's got a hood, literally everything I need. But the rest of it's junk. Somebody has cut out the fenders. Somebody has cut the top of the cab off. Literally, look how close to the rear end. It's the steering wheel. Somebody is building probably a homemade skidder or something with it. For my motor mounts, I'm going to take, being that this frame is already chopped up, I am going to cut the frame off right here. And I'm going to use sections out of this frame for my motor mounts. We'll weld them on to where those motor mounts bolt on, blast some holes in it, and bolt that 350 up to it. According to my calculations, this should come right out. Ha! 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 No, not right out. Ha! Yeah. First kick. Okay, well, I got some of the bracketry up here and right here. I just got it just tack welded in, but you can get to the bolts super easy to change. I think I'm gonna have enough clearance for the steering. Now I need to build a cross member for the transmission. I'm not welding any of this in good yet. I'm going to get everything kind of modded up, make sure the cab sits down on it good, and then I will lay the bead down on it. Till then, I'm gonna work on a cross member. 24 hours later. Anyways, I got a cross member for the transmission built. I gotta finish welding up this piece here. Gotta flip it over and weld it, take it off, but got it all bolted in. I'm gonna take it back out. Finish welding it and paint it before I put it back in. I gotta pull the motor up and finish welding the mounts. And then I think I will be done with the engine and transmission for now. Okay, well, I got the motor and transmission pulled back out, and then was started welding the motor mounts and stuff in, and ran out of wire. And so I replaced the wire, but the spool was busted. I thought it'd be all right, so put it in, go back to welding, and then it kept hanging up, the welder. Opened it up, the spool had busted completely apart, and I had one hell of a mess in the welder. So I pulled the spool off, and now this is what I got. So I'm done welding until the wife gets here with more welding wire. Alright, so I got sidetracked yesterday after I got the cross member put in, motor mounts done. I was going to put the motor and transmission on it, but then ran into a different idea. I think I'm going to cut the frame in half. I measured the wheelbase of the old frame. It's 117 inches. I measured the wheelbase of this. It's 109.5. So I'm going to cut the frame in half and extend it 7.5 inches. Okay, so I searched for the flattest, best spot probably to cut this frame in half at, and I think I got it. So I'm going to use a square, mark it, then bring a death wheel in here on the grinder, and buzzer in half. Alright, got this side marked, and I know I've seen people do a pattern like this where it comes down, goes over, and goes back down. I'm not doing that. I'm just cutting it straight down. She's cut in half on this side. Well, would you look at that? Got her cut apart on both sides. Spaced out exactly 7 inches in between here. Well, not quite. But I need to weld on another piece of metal that's 7 inches and weld all this back together. But that's a wrap for today. I'm out of time. All I get is the weekend. I gotta clean my shop. It's really messy. Next time you see me, I will be welding this back together. Motor and transmission is actually gonna be mounted forever. Never taking that back out. Get the cab actually mounted on. Maybe the bed set on. I don't know. I don't want to get too far. I don't know how much work all that's gonna take, because nothing has went together extremely easy yet. But putting a 350 on an S10 frame that never had a 350 and putting a 40 Chevy over it that never had a V8. So who would have known that it was not going to go perfectly together, but is what it is. Don't forget to go to YouTube and subscribe to the channel, Broken Budget Garage. You can also find me on Facebook and TikTok. But like I said, that's going to be a wrap for this episode. See you guys next time.